House Resolution number 112, introduced by Representative Schor, a resolution to declare June 7, 2017 as Lansing Labor Holiday Remembrance Day in the state of Michigan.
Members, if I may have your attention, we have a colleague wishing to address us. The chair recognizes Representative Schor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I have a resolution in front of us today. It's kind of a unique resolution that I've learned a lot more about. In Lansing, we have something called the Lansing Labor Holiday Remembrance Day. And as I said, this is something that I have learned much more about recently. This is the 80th anniversary. We know a lot about our workers and issues that have come up in the past. We hear about the Flint sit-down strike and issues in Detroit and other areas. But in Lansing, we had a very significant event that I'd like to explain to you before we vote.
Members, if I may have your attention, we have a colleague addressing us. The chair recognizes Representative Schor.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. And I'll try and be brief, but the Lansing Labor Holiday is this. After REO Motors experienced a month-long sit-down strike in 1937, UAW came in and organized the shop, roughly 15,000 automotive workers in the REO, Olds, and Fisher body plants here in the Lansing area. A few weeks after this was organized, employees of the Capital City Wrecking Company voted to join the union and elected officers, but the company then fired them and refused to negotiate. So after several weeks of attempts to get a contract and have the fired workers reinstated, a strike ended out happening. At 2 a.m. on June 7, 1937, Lansing's sheriff cut the phone lines to the home of the union president, Lester Washburn, and attempted to arrest him and his wife. Finding only his wife, Mrs. Washburn, home, the sheriff arrested her and left their 3 children unattended. Upon returning home, Mr. Washburn called a meeting at the Union Hall, where the union decided to call what they called a labor holiday, otherwise known as a general strike. The next workday, in protest to the arrest of Mrs. Washburn, between 2,000 and 5,000 union members and friends poured into the downtown streets here in Lansing, and they shut down many of the businesses for the day. At the same time, Washburn and other representatives negotiated the release of his wife. At the end of the day, the labor holiday was over, and before long, the Capital City Wrecking negotiated a contract with its workers. Here in Lansing, this is it's a rare instance of a mass spontaneous demonstration by the workers to address a perceived injustice. So to remember that event here in Lansing, we marked the 80th anniversary of this holiday by placing a commemorative Michigan historical marker there. We've had several events, and we're going to have other events kind of memorializing the whole Lansing Labor Holiday. So it's an honor to share this little bit of Lansing history with you here, my colleagues in the House of Representatives. We're going to celebrate this in Lansing, and I appreciate your consideration of this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. The question before the House is adoption of House Resolution 112. All those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Those opposed will say nay. The resolution is adopted.